Hello, my friends. My name is Antonio, and you are welcome to Italy, a place to love YouTube channel. The channel where I like to show the properties for sale in the Italian market. I make video dailies, I pick here and there in different regions of Italy, simply because I created this format for you that you live abroad, that you are not Italian, to understand better the Italian market. If it's important for you, if you like Italy, if it's important for you maybe to buy a property, to invest. So I'm here to help you to understand better the Italian market, the Italian housing market. But in today's video, I'm not showing you any properties for sale. In today's video, my friends, I want to talk about a YouTuber that I watch, let's say, quite often. I watch his videos. This YouTuber has two channels. One is in Italian and one is in English. Now, I do a bit of advertising. I would recommend you to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I'm not in touch. I'm not a friend. This is just free promotion, let's say, but he made a very, very interesting video. Okay, so his name is Jacopo Tartaglia. I will share the link below in the description. So he has this channel in Italian called Jacopo Tartaglia, and then he has a channel in English language. His English is also quite good, called Valente Italian Properties. So he's an agent, he's a realtor, so he has interest in selling properties in Italy, and he covers very, very interesting topics about the Italian housing market. I really appreciate his videos. So I'm watching. I will share both of the links, both of the channels that he has, Jacopo Tartaglia, the Italian, and Valente Italian Properties in English. So for you, if you want to know more about the Italian housing market. But so let's dive into the topic. So the video that he recorded is about one very interesting topic, and is about one property out of five in Italy is sold to foreigners, my friends. So basically, out of 120 properties, out of 100 properties, 20 properties are sold to foreigners. And this is opening, my friends, a this is opening a big topic to discuss, because now, from one side, there are many foreigners who are interested to buy in Italy, simply because Italy is a beautiful country, is a lovely country, there is the good, there is the bad, but is an attractive country. From the eyes of a foreigner, let's say Italy always been on the top of the list with other countries also. I'm not saying there's only Italy, also Spain, Portugal, Greece, Turkey. These countries in the Mediterranean, Cyprus, these countries in the Malta, these countries in the Mediterranean area are very attractive from, let's say, North European people, American, Canadian, some Australian, so some South American. So let's say these countries are attractive. Italy is one of these. I'm not saying it's the best. I'm Italian. I live in Italy. I moved here. And after living abroad for so many years. And anyway, I can tell you there is the good, there is the bad. But it's an attractive country. So many foreigners are buying properties in Italy. 1 out of 5 is a very, very big number. Then we can also say that this helps the Italian housing market. In my opinion, is a good thing. Obviously, my channel is in English language. I'm here to to show properties for sale to foreigners, because I think personally, I think it's a good thing if foreigners are buying properties in Italy. I see it as a good thing. But but here it's where we open the Pandora box, my friends, because I would recommend you to watch this video. Now, I will share below in the description the two links of his channel, but I will also share the video that I'm talking about, simply because it will be interesting for you to go and see the comments that Italian people, because the video is in Italian, and I was shocked. I was completely shocked by these comments, my friends. This guy, Jacopo Tartaglia, I believe he doesn't care much, but let's say 90% of the comments were simply not going against his job. Okay, his job is to sell properties to foreigners, and like him, there are so many that have this interest, because also me, that I'm not selling properties, I have all the interest anyway to see Italian market, the Italian housing market growing, the Italian economy growing. I believe that in a country that is not growing economically for the last 30 years, we are in stagnation, let's say. uh, for the last 30 years, the economy is not doing well. The GDP grows slightly, 0.5. Maybe the best we had in the last 30 years was 1.2, 1.3. So we are not, technically, Italy is not doing well. So I see from my point of view the perspective that the fact that foreigners, people are coming from all over the world and are buying with their money, buying properties. This, in my opinion, only helps the economy. But in the opinion, my friends, of who wrote the comments, shocking, shocking, shocking. And now I want to bring to your attention, let's say, the main reasons why these comments, for you to understand what's going on in the Italian mind, in the Italian mentality, in particular between the younger generations, because the elderly generation, the boomers, baby boomers, Generation X, like me, we are technically sorted. We don't really have, majority, I'm saying, don't have big financial problems. People have their own properties. Maybe they have the one they live, they have more, they have rented out properties. So, but then we have the millennials and Generation Z, Gen Z, which are not facing a very good situation. This is happening worldwide because Gen Z is in trouble not only in Italy. And that's where I see the very narrow mind of this Gen Z. Now, it's not this the video where I'm going to discuss about this. I'm not an economist, so I don't have to discuss about how to solve the problem of this younger generation who will probably never been able to afford a house. Okay, this is a problem. And it's not a problem that Antonio Mantarecchia has to solve. So I'm here to try to give a boost to the Italian economy through transactions, through people, to promote Italy, to show you what you can get. Then you have the super rich, middle class, maybe people who don't really have big budget, but still they might be interested. Anyway, this process, as I said, already happened in Portugal, in Spain, in Greece, where foreigners are buying. Foreigners are buying simply because there are many houses for sale and the internal market is not moving. Now, younger generation, apart that we have very low birth rate. So who is gonna buy, who is gonna move the housing market? If it's not this, if it's not that the foreigners are moving the housing market, Italians themselves won't be able to move it. So it will be completely a disaster. So these 1 out of 5 properties sold to foreigners, maybe in the next coming years, in the next 5 years, will become 2 or 3. I believe even, let's say maybe 3, no, 3 out of 5, no, but for sure 2 out of 5 will come in the nearest future. But so basically, this is driving mad Italian people. Now let's go to the core of the topic. This is driving mad Italian people, generally, in particular, younger generation, who see the fact that they will never be able to afford a property. They believe, but let's see. According to the Italian people, we are selling the country. Now, here there is another big topic. I'm not saying that Italian hates foreigners, generally. No, there's no this kind of, but there is this feeling that Italy is selling the country to foreigners. It is in the understanding of these people who wrote the comments, these negative comments about the fact that foreigners wants to buy. Now, foreigners are buying in Italy. Italians are generally against this. The three reasons why generally Italians are against. They are afraid we are selling the country, first of all. So there is this fear, this perception. Okay, here we also have to talk about the problem that we have with immigration. Again, not only Italian problem, it's a problem that all the Western world is facing. Holland, Germany, Belgium, UK, United States, Canada. So it's a problem that all the Western countries are facing with this immigration, mass migration, because anyway, we see numbers that 30 years ago would have been impossible for me to figure. If someone would have told me, oh, you will gonna have this amount of foreigners 30 years ago, I would have said, it's impossible. I remember when I was a child, teenager, taking the bus, and there was not even one foreigner or immigrant on the bus. Was 100% Italian. Okay, then obviously started. They are afraid that the fact that people are buying, foreigners are buying, expats, people who wants to move are buying properties, they're afraid these will push the prices up and will make it for them even less affordable to buy a property. That will make it unaffordable in their understanding. And they worry they will never be able to buy a property. So, and this is true. So I understand these fears, okay? But we live in a free market. We live in a free market where the market is made by demand and offer. So basically, we have a problem in Italy. And the problem are these, I made a video not a long time ago about these 10 million empty properties that we have in Italy, which is a crazy number. Obviously, these properties are located maybe in areas where people don't really want, but Italian people don't really want to buy. But generally, expats, the properties that I'm showing on my channel that I believe are the properties that I think could be the one that foreigners might be interested. These are the ones that Italians are running away from. So I don't see the fact that foreigners are buying and are causing problems to the Italian people who are buying the properties, who wants to buy a house. I don't see this connection because, again, maybe Italian younger generation only wants to live in the city. Then we have, even in the city, we have the housing accommodation problem where there are not many houses, and Italian who own properties in Rome, in Venice, in Naples, in Milan, maybe they decided to go to short-term rental contracts rather than the long terms. But again, here the problem is not the rental. Here the problem, if we see the comments, here the problem is about the chance to buy a property. Now, we have, technically, everyone is saying that the prices are going up. We are having this inflation, but is not really affecting the housing market, because if we compare Italy to most of the countries in Europe, let's say Northern Europe, United States, here the prices are still funny money. What can I say? 50, 60, 80,000. Okay, maybe for someone 80,000 euro, it's impossible to save. It's a dream, okay. But for many people, in particular elderly people who have savings, and in the countries where they live, maybe a property costs 800,000 or a million or a million and a half, to spend 100,000 in Italy, that's not a big problem. They might have the chance to buy in their own country, in our country, in Italy, making a dream possible. Maybe they've been dreaming all their life. Maybe they were coming here as a tourist and they enjoyed la dolce vita, even if there's a big difference between coming on holiday and living here permanently. Then we have the 7% tax regime, which is helping pensioners to move their residence here. Then we have the super rich wealth tax that will tax only, I mean, they tax you if you are a super rich, you move to Italy, your residency, and you pay 300,000 euro a year flat tax. Okay, obviously 300,000 euro flat tax for me is a crazy number, but for the super rich, these are funny money. So there is this concept that in Italy, anyway, we still have properties for sale, even in big city, comparing to other places where the prices are not high. The fact that Italians are not able maybe to save money nowadays, the younger Italians are not able to save money, that's another story. But I'd rather see the other side of the coin, the reverse side of the coin. The fact that at least these foreigners that are buying are moving the market, are moving the economy. So someone is interested in these 10 million empty houses that we have. I mean, what do we want to do? Because if we close to the foreign market, where all these houses will go? Who wants to sell will never sell. Italians will never buy. Will never buy because they might not be interested and because they might not have the money. So it's a circle, my friends. It's a particular situation where, again, I see more benefits from foreigners coming and buying. Then, if you come here to buy because you want to move your residency, because you want to use this 7% taxation, 7% flat tax, perfect. Or because, let's say, you want to buy just as a holiday home, you are still helping the Italian economy to move. So, Italian economy, which is which is in a stagflation. Let's give this helps. This money that people are buying, foreigners are buying, they simply go in in Italian pockets. So the seller, in 99% of the cases, are Italian people who simply wants to get rid of this property. Then, if we have inequality in Italy, if there is this unfair society where you have rich and wealthy from one side, and then you have young and poor from the other, obviously there should be, let's say, this is a job, this is a duty of the government to solve the problem of this inequality. Obviously, I understand the younger person, the younger people who are not able to afford a property. Maybe they barely afford even a rent simply because the salaries are low. I understand fully these people. But it's not because foreigners are buying that I keep pushing the prices up, because I don't see these prices going up. Absolutely. Actually, all the properties that I'm checking and I'm investigating, they always have reduced prices. They don't have auctions where you keep seeing maybe 20 people making an offer for a property. It's totally the opposite. It's totally the opposite. When you see a price for a house for sale with a certain price, believe me, you can technically make the offer that you want. Okay, I have this cash. Do you want it? Yes. Do you want it? No. Okay, fine. I'll find something else. You will always find someone who wants. I mean, I'm referring mainly to the cash buyers. I know not many people might have 50, 60, 100,000 saved, but the elderly generation, let's say boomers, baby boomers, Gen X, like me, technically are the ones that are financially sorted, financially better than the younger generation. So a lot of hatred from this hatred. I'm a bit exaggerating, but these comments under the video shocked me because I don't see in these people's mind a way to formulate that they have to build their own future. They cannot wait. They cannot wait someone else coming from abroad to try to fix this problem. They, younger people, younger generation, have to try to find a solution. On the other side, foreigners that are coming are giving money to Italian people who are selling their properties. And this gives money to the Italian economy. These people will spend money. The foreigner that bought and moved the residence will spend money, and they're spending money. They're spending money. Then the one who wants to buy a second home, a holiday home, even if it's only a second holiday, if it's a holiday home and they don't live permanently, they still buy and they give money to someone. They might plan to maybe move in the future, and they will spend money when they're coming here. Better than not having anyone living in these places, and that will be completely a disaster. So, from my perspective, from my opinion, foreigners are welcome. If these things are explained properly, as I try to do in this video, even this younger generation won't see this as a problem. Someone should teach them. Someone should explain these things. Now, I'm not saying these things, I'm not making videos in Italian, but so it won't go to an Italian target, to an Italian understanding. But anyway, my friends, this is the way it is. It's right, it's fair that who wants to sell a property in Italy should be able to sell it to anyone who wants to buy. Then who cannot afford, who cannot buy, that's another problem. And these people cannot just blame the foreigners who are coming, simply because the foreigners that are coming, as I said, I read several times, are the ones that are helping the economy to move. So no way we can see the other way around, where foreigners are causing problems to the Italian market. They are not pushing the prices up. Prices up are pushed by other things, but not by the foreigners that are buying. If it's not a foreigner, no one will buy, or if someone would buy, is already an Italian that have money. So it will always be cut off the one who doesn't have money. Okay, my friends, 20 minutes, more than 20 minutes talking. Let me know your opinion below in this below in the comment section. I might make more videos about this topic because it's very, very interesting. These kind of problems that we have between one generation and another. So the younger generation thinks we are going against them. I mean, they believe things are going against themselves. Okay, my friends, I wish you a lovely day. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you here for a property for sale tomorrow here on Italy A Place to Love YouTube channel. Bye.